Hey guys, welcome to what is going to be a final unboxing on my channel. I know I've done several over, I don't know, I guess the past few years. If you go through my channel, this one in particular, I'm a little bit excited about. I'm going to tell you guys why in a minute. But I hope you guys have really enjoyed all the videos that I've made, just unboxing watches and stuff like that. Just kind of time for me to move on, not from watches. I still enjoy them and things like that, but I have had a lot of brands, many more than what I've even done unboxings on my channel. God, I don't even know how many brands that I've owned. Probably close, I don't know, let's say in a range of like 50 to 100-ish, in my lifetime. Anywhere from like Rolex to Breitling to Nito to Movado to, yes, even Invicta, whatever it is. I've had a lot. But one of the things that I found that's really important is find a watch and a brand that, you really love. I mean, this hobby of ours, we could say, can get very expensive. Not necessarily anything wrong with that, but in the long run, you're gonna lose money. Unfortunately, most of us will, at least. Some of us, I guess, will maybe break even. I think very few of us will actually make money. There are people that do. So over the years, I've been doing this for about, 7-ish years, I want to say, give or take. I don't even know. Still love reading about my watch news and still watching YouTube videos and a whole bunch of other things. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but I really kind of had to take like a little bit of a step back and say, like, what's a watch that I really want, the different features and everything. So we're gonna go into that, in a few minutes, of course. So before we do that, here's what I want to do. Obviously, watch is right here in this box. You can tell it's pretty small box. You won't be able to tell from the outside, of course, what it is, but let's do a little challenge right now. Pause the video or whatever it is. I'll give you guys a minute. Take a guess at what you think is in here. Now, I was just doing a little bit of math on Chrono24. They're one of the leaders for searching and buying and selling watches between dealers and private sellers. Also, take a guess at how many watch brands there are in the world, approximately. Pause the video, I'll give you a second. You have a number yet? Going over to Chrono24 to actually do the calculation? Okay. I'll give you another few seconds. You ready? There's approximately 504. I know, such an exact number, right? So just a little over 500 brands that are, for sale or actively on chrono24.com right now. Of course, this is one of those brands. Wanted to just take a few seconds to see if you could guess, to think about what this watch actually is. You have any guesses? Okay. Well, it's about time. Let's get into what the watch is and exactly why I bought it and why I want it to be my forever watch. Be right back. Okay guys, so welcome back. So of course, here's the box. And let's just start to get it open a little bit. You guys think you guess what it is? I don't know. We'll see. Here we go. That's a clue, huh? Orient. Let's take this right out of the box here. Move the box to the side. Yes, if you guessed Orient, you guessed correct. But the question is, which model is it? Well, let's get into that, right? First thing that we're going to do here, standard with Orient. You have the box here, of course. This is the inner box. This is the outer box. And in the outer box always comes your mechanical watch, automatic and hand winding mechanism, the instruction manual, of course. And this just gives you all the instructions on how to do everything, I think in several different languages. So you keep that inside the box just in case you ever need it. Put the box to the side. And of course, by the way, this is a nice little bit of brushing here. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a close-up here. It's actually kind of cool. Turn that to the side just so you can really see. We're kind of outside, so you get like the different light sources there. So kind of cool. The box itself is nothing spectacular, but the brushing on that is kind of nice with the silver. So you get it opened up, and of course, a beautiful pillow. Nice little Orient wording on the inside. So here's, of course, is the pillow. Wow, where's the watch? I wonder where it is. Well, here is the reference number on the watch. Feel free to go look it up if you'd like. Of course, from Orient. And as you can see, with the particular watch that I got, I did take out 3 links. And of course, I have my, you guys kind of saw the watch there. I have my pins right in here. That always good to save with the watch, because you never know when you may need it again. So, without further ado, let's get to the watch itself. All right. Let me get something turned on very quickly just so I have a little bit of a reference here for you guys. Okay, so do a little bit of a zoom in here. So here you guys go. This is the Orient Kamasu watch. And as you guys can see, this is the reference number right over here, RA-AA0002L. This particular model is the blue dial variant. They have several different variants of this actually. On Orient USA's website, they currently have it listed as $280. I, of course, picked it up for a little bit under that, which is kind of nice. So, as you guys can see, you know, the beautiful blue dial. It's almost like so now the bezel, I think, is a little bit lighter than the dial itself. Still very, very, very nice watch. What I want to do is I want to start to go into the specs of the watch. So let's start off with the bracelet. So nice brushed bracelet here. Show you guys. It is stainless steel. All right, so it's really not going to rust too much, not going to really corrode too much. As you guys can see here, they are push pins to size it, and the arrows here represent which direction you're going to push them out with your tool. If you're going to push them back in, you're going to put them in this way. To push them out, you're going to go that way. So nice stainless steel bracelet here. It is pretty comfortable. My only personal complaint with it is the fact that it is a little rattly. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you know, I'm going to be getting a new mesh bracelet to put this on. They're usually a little bit more comfortable, although this one is very nice, molds beautifully to the rest. Of course, you guys see here the Orient logo monogrammed into the clasp, and fold the clasp over, snaps into place, and it's got the safety lock right over that. Very easy to lift. Push button on both sides lifts it right up. So it is stainless steel. The case thickness here, just to give you guys a rough idea, it is 12.8, so just shy of 13 millimeters thick. Gotta say that it actually sits beautifully on the wrist. Of course, you see the Orient logo in the crown there. You know, it really does sit just amazingly well on the wrist. I can try to show you guys a little bit of a side profile here. You know, really just very comfortable. This would easily fit under a shirt cuff, no problem whatsoever. Doesn't sit too high, doesn't sit too low. Not quite as thin as maybe some other divers out there, but still really does the trick. So I happen to love it. What else do we have here? So, of course, it's automatic movement here. It does vibrate at 21,600 vibrations per hour, so not as smooth sweeping as some other watches out there. Typically, it's around 28,800 vibrations per hour, but still, this is a very nice, movement. It's of course in-house. I'll get to that in a minute, but the you know, for the most part, it is pretty smooth. It's a little bit jerky, but it's really not terrible at all there. Case material itself, of course, as you guys can see, is stainless steel. Okay, so I'm going to leave that up there for a quick second, and now let me do a little bit of case diameter here. So without the crown, okay, so from where my fingernail is to where it ends over here, the case diameter is 41.8 millimeters. So with the crown, you're probably looking at a little over 42. I will say this though, it doesn't really quite wear like a 42. It wears a little bit smaller, at least in my opinion. I have 7.25 inch wrists. And I will tell you guys that fits my wrist almost perfectly to exactly where I would need a watch to be maximum, right? And the fact that, I'll also just show you this, right? The case design with how the crown guards come out, they're a little bit more, they're curved, but they're a little bit sharp at the ends. Of course, you really don't feel it on your wrist, which is nice, but I wish that they were a little bit, I don't know how I could say it, but maybe that they didn't come out as much. Maybe if they were about half of what they are here, and maybe not as pointed, maybe a little bit more rounded at the edges would be good. So I would personally say that. At the lug width, so let's say you're going to want to change the band out like I'm going to. The lug width, which is right here, is 22 millimeters. So typical size is usually anywhere between 18 to about 22 millimeters. This one just falls at the top end, which is more than fine. You know, again, very easy to change out the bracelet if you wanted to put Milanese mesh, if you wanted to put leather, if you wanted to put NATO, rubber, doesn't matter what it is, very easy to change that, of course. So let's go into the full specs of the watch, right? So within the case back here, okay, it is the Orient Caliber F6922 movement, which is fully in-house. It does feature hand winding, so when you take the crown out to its full position, okay, and then you wind it via the crown, that's the hand winding, but it also is automatic, meaning when you open up the case back here, there is a rotor that spins unidirectional rotating, and that's what will also keep the watch fully wound. It also does have hacking movement, meaning, and I know we've gone over this a few times, when you take the crown out, the seconds hand here that's going around the dial will stop, so you'll be able to tell the accuracy per day. The power reserve on this watch, nothing too impressive, fairly standard at 40 hours. The crystal here, it is not even really domed at all. It's pretty much flat, which is kind of good. It sits right, as you guys can see there, it sits right right in the bezel. Usually if they're a little domed, you would feel like a little bit of a like a little bit of an elevation here between the bezel and the crystal. That's not the case here, so it's flat, which is kind of good. It is sapphire, so it's going to be scratch resistant. The only thing that can scratch it is technically a diamond. The clasp itself, as we went over, it is fold over with double push button safety. And again, sorry, these two here are the double push button with the safety clasp, which is right over here. It's going to just help keep it down coming from loose. The crown itself is screw down, so let me I can undo this here a little bit so you guys can see. And what'll happen eventually once it comes off, see there was like that little pop there. So when I put a little bit of pressure on, it presses into the case. When I take the pressure off, it comes out. So I put the pressure back on, screw it on, and you see how it starts to hug the case. And you just screw it in until you can't do that anymore. And that's the screw down crown. That's what helps with the water resistance, of course. Speaking of water resistance, as you guys can see here, water resistant to 20 bar, aka 200 meters. So very, very excellent with water resistance. You never have to worry about messing that up in the ocean or in any pool. So let's see here. The bezel function on this. It is 120 click, meaning that you get not only the full minutes going around the dial, but you also get the half minute. So it's 120 click. You guys can hear the clicking there. Fairly smooth. It's a little bit, it's just slightly tough to move it, to be honest with you. Nothing terrible at all, but you know, I wish it was just a little bit easier to use. But as you guys can see, everything lines up very, very, very nicely, and I really do love the fact that it has all the little dots, just about all the little dots going around to represent the minutes as well. My favorite feature, which is actually kind of covered up right now, but you guys saw it before, is the fact that at the 3 o'clock position you have the date window first, and then you have the day, which is right behind it. Guys, my favorite feature on a watch is having the day date function, and the fact that Orient offers it in a diver's watch for very affordable money is really one of my favorite things, one of the biggest reasons, of course, why I purchased this watch and why I love the watch so much. Sorry about that. We did go over the lug width and everything else. So let me show you guys the back just a little bit more here so you guys can see. Still have the sticker on it. Shows you the water resistance, stainless steel, sapphire crystal. And one of the things actually that I had to do, just to let you guys know, was that I did have to open up the case back to regulate this myself. It was regulated pretty horribly. Just to let you guys also know, by the way, when you take the band off, you come right back here with a little spring bar tool, and you release the pins right there. They come right out, and then you just put whatever new band that you want right onto the watch. So I'm gonna give you guys just like one more little go around here, show you guys the kind of side view. Very beautiful loom. I'll show you guys that in a few minutes. Very easy to read, of course. Anti-reflective coating, of course, as well on the crystal, which makes it just a little easier to read. And there's the day date. I love the fact that it is white with black lettering. It stands out a little bit more. Really good size, so easy to read. And the fact that, the other thing that I love about this watch is how the minute hand, okay, stretches all the way out to the minute track. I'm really personally not a fan of watches that don't have the minute hand going all the way out to the minute track, or having the minute track hidden within the dial, like in the sides of it. It just doesn't stand out as much. But with this, as you guys can see, such easy legibility, really no problem of of reading the time at all. And the fact that it has a slightly different colored seconds hand, it just makes it that much more pleasurable to really read and to really see. And you guys can see a generous amount of lume that's placed on the watch itself, including in the little pip at 12 o'clock. So really, just an overall, for me, an absolutely perfect watch. So just to let you guys know, the watch itself, I'm going to of course give you a little bit more of a, just go around one more time. Watch was running, it was around literally like 20 to 30-ish seconds a day when I first unboxed it. So, for me, that's not really very acceptable. So what I had to do is I had to get my little case back opener tool, opened it right up. Very easy to regulate. There's a little lever that's right in the back on the side, and there's plus up here side, and then a minus sign down here. Then all you do is you just flip the lever either that way, up or down. If you move it in the downwards position, of course you're moving minus, and then up is positive. So I actually got this regulated now. I'm going to show you guys where it is in a second. But anyways, that's the watch. Let me show you guys the lume. Alright, so we're back with the lume here. I just shined a flashlight on it for a few seconds, and as you guys can see, pretty bright and pretty legible. You guys can see the time is about 11:21, of course. We're about to be approaching it. Really no problem seeing this watch, in the dark when you have it lit by sun. When it's lit by like a natural light indoor source, it's not as bright, of course, but still, this watch kind of rocks it out pretty hard, which is really nice. And the lume, I would say it lasts a pretty long time. I don't think it's like completely overnight. It really fades out. But you'll get a solid probably maybe half an hour if you're lucky on this, which of course for most watches, most people think lume should be lasting forever. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I guess unless you have a tritium tube watch, I would say maybe. Okay guys, so the next things that I wanted to show you, just to let you know, what we have here is the bezel on the watch itself is aluminum, so it's not ceramic, like it won't like last forever or anything, but it's still it's still very nice feel. I'm just hoping that like over time doesn't scratch too much, but yeah, that is aluminum. And the lug width, so when we talk about lug to lug, and we brought the camera inside because it's starting to get a little loud with people mowing their lawn, we talk about the point from here to here. So instead of going from the side of the case to the other side of the case, it's top to bottom. That is going to be a very reasonable 46.8 millimeters lug to lug. As you guys can see, all the other specs that I did show you before. So I did just want to show you that. So yeah, just want to show you guys, this is the watch on the wrist. Just wanted to give a little bit of a wrist roll here, just before I give my final concluding thoughts, which we'll do in the next few seconds or so. Okay guys, so we are back. The sound has gone away for now, at least, very loud. So I'm going to start to put everything away, and then I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts. So why the Orient Kamasu? Out of, again, the 504 brands that are out there, give or take, why Orient? Well, a few different things. First of all, it fits my wrist very, very, very well, as I've showed you guys, okay? It is super comfortable on the wrist. Really doesn't wear too big at all. Reasonable at the 41 to maybe, 42, but doesn't wear as large as that. But really what I love, actually, I gotta show you guys the accuracy on it. So let's actually pause the video and then we'll come back to this discussion. All right, guys, let's get this hooked up right here. I'm gonna put in our time grapher machine. Should be all turned on just about. Let me just put the camera down for just a quick second. Take the watch off the rest. And as I mentioned before, the accuracy on this watch was really just horrendously bad. It was running like literally a second an hour fast, which is way, 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 way too quick. So let's get that on there. And let's turn on our machine and we'll see where it's running. So as you guys can see, it's running a very solid, actually about plus 5 seconds a day, which is very well within COSE standards. Now going down to about 4 seconds. Very healthy amplitude at 300 degrees. Only a 0.1 beat error, which is great. And you guys can see that the beat rate is 21,600 vibrations per hour. So anywhere between, let's say, around plus 3 to about, plus 5-ish seconds a day, which really, that's certainly COSE standards. And for an Orient watch, that is just really absolutely fantastic. Okay, guys, anyways, the noise is really back outside, so we're just going to bring this party in just to finish it up. So here's what I love, again, fact about the watch. Really perfectly sized, excellent lug to lug, beautiful case diameter. Love the fact that it's a day date, very easy to read. I like the blue dial. I like the 120 click unidirectional bezel, so you can always time things as well if you need. You could bring this watch through just about anything. You could wear it, every day into the office, or sometimes a little bit more casual occasions. You could also wear it for more sportier occasions. You could bring it to the beach, wear it with you after dinner. Doesn't matter what it is. But I also love the fact that, of course, it's loomed. I like the seconds hand here. That's just slightly different color, which is great. Sorry, I got a little bit of dirt and stuff on it. That's a lot better. But guys, what I really, really love is the fact that it's got the minute hand, which extends out to the minute track, which is actually printed, on the dial, which is just so nice. Really just an overall fantastic, fantastic piece. This will be my final piece, which I look forward to wearing for pretty much the rest of my life. And of course, it's an automatic, so, may need to service it every once in a while, but it's going to be reliable. Will never, give out like a quartz watch will, which I happen to love. And of course, it was super affordable. I got it it was under $250 on eBay, which was kind of like the lowest price that I can find. Just to let you guys know, my phone got a phone call. I got a notification on my Fitbit almost midway through this video, so this may be in 2 parts. So don't forget to watch part 1 and part 2. I want to make sure you guys see this entire video. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my final unboxing of the Orient Kamasu. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. Any questions that you have, feel free to
leave them below. Love to hear your thoughts. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. I look forward to bringing you guys more content on this channel, some different kind of content. We'll see what that's going to be going forward. Thanks again for watching. See you guys soon.